Good afternoon. Kindly subscribe, share, and like. Today, our sermon is on the death of Lazarus. It's on John chapter 11, from verse 1 to 43. But we are going to make it short. We know Lazarus was brother to Martha and Mary, and they were very friendly to Jesus. Out of that, we know Lazarus got sick, and out of that, they tried to call Jesus, but they couldn't manage it. Jesus was somewhere else preaching the gospel. Now we know they used to Akina mother and Lazarus and Mary. They used to live in Bethany, and the place the place where Jesus was quite far, around miles, 2 miles away from Bethany. When Lazarus got sick, they thought that because they had communicated with the people to call Jesus, that Jesus will come and heal him. But he progressed poorly and he died. When he died, the sisters were so much disgraced, they were so much depressed, they had no hope. They were crying, weeping everywhere. People had joined them in weeping because of the loss of their brother. But Jesus did not come immediately. After his death, he stayed for 4 days. He completed what he was doing in the other side, where he was in Jerusalem. He finished what he was doing. Then he went to see them after 4 days. We know when he arrived there, he had already received the news of Lazarus dead. But he told them that Lazarus was not dead, but he was asleep. He told them that he is going to wake up. He was not astonished. He was not surprised of what people are talking about, and people are wailing and crying. They were doing all sorts of because of the loss of somebody they loved so much. We know Jesus is the life and resurrection. Now he knew he has the power to do anything else. He knew he has the power to raise Lazarus. So what he did, he said, I'm the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me will live even though they die. And those who live and believe in me will never die. That was his statement. That is John chapter 11 from verse 25. It says, and Jesus said, I am the resurrection and life. Those who believe in me will live. Those who believe in Jesus will live. And those who believe in me will, even though they die, and those who believe, even though they die, and those who live and believe in me will never die. What does that mean? Those who believe in him, they will never die. Because the moment you have offered your life, you have offered yourself to him, already you are in the heavenly kingdom. Your name already has been written there. Now you are not going to die. But for those who will die, if you are not saved, their name won't be written in the book of life. They are going to burn in the everlasting fire. That's why when we are saved, when we are doing the will of God, God writes our names in the book of life. He has said even if you die, your name already is in the book of life. That you are going to be resurrected and you are going to live the everlasting life. That is how he was meaning it. We know Lazarus had already been buried for 4 days. When Jesus saw how people were weeping and they were crying, they were so much touched, he also wept. That is where the shortest verse where we learn that Jesus, even he wept. We know Jesus he was the friend to Lazarus. He loved Lazarus so much. He was touched by what he was seeing and he was moved. We know he told them to take him to the where he was buried, the tomb. That time they were being kept in the tombs. When he was taken to the tomb, Jesus was so much moved. They went and they at the cave, they moved the stone which was placed at the entrance. Mother could tell him that there would be a bad smell, but Jesus insisted. He had been married for 4 days. That is what they were telling Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Didn't I tell you that you'd see God's glory if you believed?" What Jesus wanted with Lazarus is to reveal the glory of God, to show that God has power. There is nothing which God cannot resurrect. He has said He is the resurrection and He is the life. Whatever has been dead, it can come to life. We know you can be done so bad things in this world, but when you believe and you trust in God, God is going to resurrect all what was dead in you to come into life. We know many people have turned away from God, but the moment they confess that they are coming back to God, even if the enemy had taken you to what in depths of Satanism, God is going to remove you from there, because in God's glory, He has to be revealed everywhere. That is how we are going to show glory to. That is how we are going to reveal, to show for our Father to show how He loves us so much. We know that they took the stone away. Jesus looked up and said, "I thank you, Father, that you listen to me. I know that you always listen to me, and I say this for the sake of the people here, so that they will believe that you sent me." After he had said this, he called out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." He came out with the hands, feet wrapped in graves clothes, and with a cloth around his face. "You untie him," Jesus told them, and they let him go. That is how it happened. Jesus just prayed to his Father. He gave thanks to his Father. He told him that he knows that he always listens to him. When he talks to him, he listens to him. He is his son, the Father, because he is Son of God. And after that, he said to his Father, "I say this for the sake of the people here, so that they will believe that you sent me." He was saying that so that people will believe that he is the Son of God, because there are so many people with unbelief. People didn't believe that Jesus was the Son of God. He was talking that so that people are going to believe he was sent by his Father in heaven. And after he had said this, he called with a loud voice. We know that because it was dead. After he had prayed, he called Lazarus with a loud voice, because he's somebody who is dead. Somebody who is dead, we know, and is already in his smelling. He called him with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." He came out. Lazarus came out. That was a real miracle. Something which is dead, God can turn it to life. There's nothing which is impossible within God. Only what we have to is to believe. We know when he was trying to tell Mother about resurrection, Mother could say some other things. Mother believed that he thought that he would be resurrected at the end of the world. But that was not what Jesus was meaning. Jesus was meaning at the time it was then and now, and it happened. Now we know. In our lives, when we look at our lives, there are so many things have been dead. There are so many things have happened in our lives. We feel that we can't make it, but God is telling us He is here, and He wants us to. The moment we invite Him, the moment you call Him to take over, God is going to resurrect everything. Whatever has been lost, God is going to make us recover everything we have lost, because He is a God of power. If He could raise somebody who is even rotten for 4 days and come to life, and after even that evening, they could even supper together. How mighty was He? He is God of power and God of authority. He uses authority. You know, when He called Lazarus in a loud voice, He used authority with the power, and Lazarus was raised from death to life. And that is how even He used to drive out the demons. use the power and authority. The moment he used the power and authority, the demons feared him. But when we were looking yesterday, we saw that the Pharisees, they were people of law. People of law, the judges, those people who do the matters of the country. They possess themselves as if they possess themselves for people to fear them. But when they are dealing with the people there, they had more. Jesus had more authority than them, because they were like, there are people who are there. They were not saved. They were dealing with evil things. Now the demons were in them. They were not people who were pure. But because Jesus was pure, he was the Son of God. He is full of holiness and righteousness. The demons could fear him. That's why he used authority to drive them out and to show there is a difference between him and the people of this world. Because the Son of God is so much different from the people of this world. He is always holy and is righteous. But the people of this world, we have all gone sort of sins. We have committed so many sins. That's why we are different from him. That's why when Jesus comes into somebody's life, there is that lightning. The lightning is the push of the darkness. And that is how it is. The moment we give our lives to God, even if we have been taken very far by the enemy, God is going to revive us. God's glory is going to be revealed. And that is how we are supposed to doing each and every day. We know God is there, and the moment we call upon him, God is waiting for us. He's just waiting for us. He's a patient God, he's a gentle God, he is a kind God, compassionate God. God who cares for the children, because he created us and he has a purpose for us. He does not want us to go and perish there to burn in that furnace fire where the Satan will be burned. Because now Satan is not happy. Satan is trying out tactics that he is trying to look for people so that he won't burn again alone. Now God is calling his people, his children, to come unto him. God is there to give us everlasting life. And that is what God is planning. That is the plan of God. He wants to save his children. He wants to save his people. He is the maker. He is the creator. He is the one who created us. If you are Satan does not create anything. Satan does not have wisdom. The work of the Satan is to steal, kill, and destroy. That is how he does. If you see somebody who is dealing with Satanism, if he has wisdom, he has stolen. The work of the Satan is to steal. When the Satan sees somebody who is God has made, who is bright or who has something, the work of the Satan is to go and steal the things of God's children. That is what the Satan does. What you are supposed to, God is calling us, because the moment you are in God, the moment you have given our lives to God, God has so many blessings. God has so many promises. And the moment you reside in God's presence, God is, whatever you ask him, is going to reward you. Whatever you seek from him, is going to give it to you. That is our God. God is waiting for us to call upon him. That was our sermon about the death of Lazarus and resurrection. I hope it has taken you well. You can kindly subscribe, share, and like with friends. See you.